Hi everybody, it's April 7th, 2026. Um, uh, the moments in my life that I remember the most are not exactly when things came to a head. The moments that I remember the most are the ones where I came to realizations, and realizations come like lightning strikes. You could be in the middle of a proverbial desert with nothing going on in your life, but the revelations are the revealing of wisdom, of truth, could come at that moment. And those are the times that I remember. I remember peaceful times. I remember reconciliation. I remember triumph. I remember examples of my strength, or examples of the strength of my dad. I remember laughing with friends. I remember Christmas time and having a good time with the people that were around me. So that's all to say is that those are the moments in life that really matter, like really stick with us, or stick with me, if that's because basically I'm the only reference I have in terms of that. But that just brings to my attention that that's leaving. It seems, if you look at it from a certain angle, it seems like I'm leaving out a majority of my life, because people like to claim that the majority of life is painful, like it's a struggle or it's boring or whatever. But I don't believe that's leaving out a lot of my life. Those moments are monumental. They are mammoth. They are not monstrous, but like they are of a magnitude that is greater than of the negative. So that's what I have to say about that. And that gets me to thinking about drawing cards. In life, the deck of the cards can fool you, because every time you seem to draw a card, which is taking your chance or making an assumption or giving up or leaning in, every time you draw a card, sometimes it seems like you get a bad one, or one that's of no avail. And this kind of trick of the deck of cards could kind of get you to stop. Like in life, in actuality, there is no stopping. Life is always going to go forward, whether you're moving your feet or not. But at these points of time, the deck of cards is gonna dare you to stop. It's gonna dare you to keep on going. Actually, it's gonna dare you to believe that there's something else in that deck of cards that's good for you. And then, so after you gain the courage to draw another card, it's gonna give you another fool's card. It's gonna give you another trash card. And then it's at that point where you really get to know your level of strength, your level of faith. If you are daring to pull another card after that and willing to take another loss, and then no matter what that card is, that shows an example of your strength, an example of your faith, an example of the underlying mission, the underlying creed of this life. There is no end. There is no stop. You keep on going no matter what your emotions tell you to do. You keep on going no matter how foolish you look, because all that stuff doesn't matter. You keep on going because life keeps on going. If you stop, you're just going to cause a friction that is a benefit, or it has no logical value to it. Another thing I can say about drawing the cards is that when it has to do with your vulnerable points, of course you're going to be slower to draw cards. You're going to be slower to take a chance. And this is only natural, because you want to protect what is vulnerable, because of the vulnerable points, you are tender, and they may cause you to act out of line. They may cause you to fold. They may cause you to run and to get scared. But when you're pulling cards at a vulnerable moment, when something is going to have an effect on your heart, my best strategy is first to be unselfish. And by this I mean, if you are going to put anybody in trouble, put anybody out of convenience, put anybody in the way of unnecessary repercussions, and of course, take your time, be careful what you do. On the other hand, I could say be extremely selfish. If you know that you follow God, if you know that your heart is good, if you know you have good intentions, if you know you're doing the best you can, then be selfish and believe in that so you can't get unnerved. And so when you pull that card, no matter what it is, and if you're vulnerable and you pull that card and you see something you don't like, again, that's not the end. This life doesn't end. This experience doesn't end. You have to keep on going. You know, if you pull a bad card, lick your wounds, assess the situation, and go on with life and try to learn from it and try to bring that situation back up to where it needs to be. And the last thing I can say about pulling cards is that when you are antagonized, when you are oppressed, when you are mistreated and wrongfully managed by the people that you trust or the people that are over you, the only saving grace, there's only two cards. You pull the card of no faith and you deal with things yourself. You deal with all the weight of the world yourself. Or you pull the other card, and that's God. And some people don't believe, and so they pull that card that they have to rely on themselves. They have to rely on the people that have the power over them. And if that's what they want to choose, that's the free will that God gave us. But if you draw that card of God, be ready to take responsibility for building your faith. Be ready to take responsibility for being forgiven no matter what you do, and try not to be eaten by that guilt. If you draw the card of God, be ready to experience glory when you knowingly feel like you don't deserve it. And when you pull that card of God, be willing to act without understanding, but by providence. I hope this helps. Thanks.